Today we're on the 440 motorhome motor that we pulled out for that we're putting in the 79 Dodge. It had a freeze plug out of it when we got it gave to us. It was greasy. You couldn't tell for sure, but I was worried that it might have cracked the block, but it did knock the freeze plug out, so there was no water in it. So we stuck the freeze plug in it and we did our little run. Did the burnout and stuff in it. And when I cleaned it up this week, well, we have a crack. Starts here, goes to here. We have a crack, starts there, goes through to there on this side. So what I've done is I went and got some JV weld. I brought the old Harbor Freight die grinder. You know, some JV weld. And all new freeze plugs. So we're going to grind a V right through here where the crack is. And we'll put JV weld in it. And we'll put the new freeze plugs in. Then I want to be able to test it because I want to make sure before I put the motor in the truck that the cracks are only to the external side, not to the internal side. You know, if they're internal, this is a boat anchor. You know, I'll be looking for another 440 block. This is a boat anchor. Now what I've done is I bought 2 valve stems for a semi wheels. I got a 5/8 hole in the wheels for the valve stems, and those supposed to tighten up on them. Then I made 2 plates out, a 1/4 inch by 2 inch flat bar. I made a ground them to make them fit still, which will allow me to put a valve stem in the plate. And then right here, the water in a 440 Chrysler comes through the water pump, gets pumped into the block through this hole here. The bottom hole for this half of the head, it'd be this hole here for that head and that half of the block. Then it goes through the block, you know, down through the cylinder head, and it exits right here and goes to the thermostat housing and then to the up through the thermostat into the radiator. What this plate's going to do, it will allow me to, I got it backward, don't I? Anyway, it will allow me to bolt this here, and then I can take my Harley Davidson air pumps. I use for the air shock to my bike because it's a small pump and it's pretty accurate, and I can put about 20-25 pounds of pressure in this. With a Schrader valve on that, I'll be able to unhook it. If it holds pressure, well, then it ain't leaking to the inside and we can use the block. If it loses pressure, we'll spray the motor down, make sure it ain't leaking anywhere else on the outside. And if it ain't leaking there and it won't hold pressure, there's a crack inside the block, it's a boat anchor. If it's will hold pressure, not leaking inside the block, well, then we'll paint the motor up and we'll put it in the Dodge. I'll start looking for a block to build a little faster motor out of. All right, well, I gotta get back and get to work. We'll show some clips of doing all this. I'll be back when I get something done. All right, let's discuss putting this freeze plug in. Now, the way I do it, and there's other people who got their own ways. I take a die grinder with a sander, and I sand out where the freeze plug's going. I take a socket that's just smaller than the freeze plug, and I use Permatex, well, gasket shellac. And what I will do, I'll gasket shellac the hole, and then I gasket shellac the freeze plug. And I tap it about that far in, about a 1/8 inch down from the top of the hole to the lip of the freeze plug. All right, I need to knock this freeze plug and this freeze plug out and replace them. I'll get to doing that. And I didn't get to show you putting the JB weld on. When I do the other side of the block's got a crack in it, I will stop. We'll discuss how to mix JB weld and how to do that part of it. You know, you see me cleaning the block. That's a big part of it. All right, let me get to work and get these freeze plugs knocked out. And we'll be back when it's time to test this side and the other side of the cylinders. All right, we're back. We've cleaned the gasket surface off. We ground this bolt back. We went ahead and put the plate on this side with the Schrader valve, with the Schrader valve on it, so we can air this side up tomorrow when everything's good and dry. Now, about to drill this one out. We're gonna fire off this side. We're gonna move up to 5/16 and we'll recap the threads. And you got to try to keep it as straight as you can. Now I would prefer to have a left-handed drill bit. Sometimes you get a drill and then they'll just turn the bolt out. But I have no idea where my left-handed drill bit set is. It's somewhere around here, but I don't know where. It could be in the other shop. Alright guys, well, it's drilled and tapped. Got the bolt out, the hole and bolt out and drilled and tapped. This side's on. I'm going to put this one on. I said just a plate with a Schrader valve put in it for a big truck tire. Now total, if you had to buy the gasket sealer, had to buy everything, didn't have any of it, you'd probably spend about 70 bucks between JB weld, gasket sealer, Schrader valves, piece of metal. That's just gonna test, see if I got if that inside the box cracks. The biggest thing I would need to know, or if I got any more leaks on the outside that I don't know about. And I know they make block sealer. You know, I could have bought block sealer and put in it. I know that. I'm not fond of block sealer myself, and I'm not saying it don't work, because it does. My problem with it is I've actually had it plug up the radiator, and that's a problem. That's just me. You know, I ain't gonna tell you guys not to use it. I have used it when I had to. Now then, we'll give it till in the morning. Let the JB Weld dry thoroughly. Let the Permatex that's on the grease plugs, expansion plugs, let it cure up. Let this gasket sealer cure up. We'll put air to it tomorrow. See if it holds pressure. Good morning, guys. We're back. I got up early this morning. About 2 hours ago, put 25 pounds of air in each side. Left the gauge on this side, and she's still holding 25 pounds. So in 2 hours, it hasn't lost any air pressure on this side, which means we have no internal cracks and the external's fixed. Now, I want to hook it to this side, and it should have air in it still. I want to make sure, check the number. I'll wait a couple hours and I'll recheck it, because I gotta go run some errands. When I get back, right there, and you guys can see it's set right at 26. Let's see if it's the same thing when we get back. Well, been a few hours since we pumped this up. She ain't losing any pressure. Means we don't have any internal leaks, which is a good thing. So now I can bleed the pressure off of it, pull these caps off, tape off a few things, and how about we turn this thing Hemi orange? Then we can get it in the truck. This ain't always the best way of fixing it, but you know, it's a crack block. I'm gonna shoot this thing orange. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. You know, there'll be more of this. We gotta get this motor cleaned up, painted, get it put in the PowerWagon. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.